Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Girl in Media podcast. I am so thrilled to see you back here. We are brand stinking new. This is our second episode, and you have chosen to spend the next 10 minutes or so with me, and I'm so honored. So let's get right into it. Today, we're going to be talking about how women can support other women in their fields in digital media, why it's so hard sometimes, and how our mutual support can actually create more opportunities for other women. You ready? Let's go. Hey, girl, welcome to the Girl in Media podcast, where we talk about being a woman in the digital media space. Whether you're an employee, entrepreneur, owner, independent contractor, side hustler, or just looking to learn a little bit more, I want you to come away informed, empowered, and encouraged to do more of what you love. We highlight the stories of women just like you on this podcast, and we hope that it helps you grow in your career and your dreams. Now, let's get into it. When was the last time that you walked into a room and you saw faces that looked like yours? If you're a woman, and especially a woman of color working in digital media, whether that's film, photography, music, design, development, or other techie fields, you probably haven't had that experience in quite a while. Now, as a Girl in Media follower, I would assume that you've seen our statistics that we put out, that a lot of studies have shown that most fields have 30% or less representation by women. That means that you're going to be looking at a majority of men in any given room if you work in digital media. That automatically makes you feel like it's a little bit more of a hostile or demanding environment. There's a higher expectation because you're the only one. And so then all of a sudden you have to speak for everyone who's supposed to look like you. It's a lot. And so it can feel really difficult when you deal with this day-to-day boys club to want to help other women have opportunities because if you're the only one in the room, there's probably not a seat for someone else who looks like you at the table. You have to take a really honest look, I think, at yourself and your scarcity mindset if that's how you're approaching it. Like other women have to work just as hard as I did to get where I am. I'm not giving up my seat for anyone. I'm not giving anyone a handout because I didn't get one. Is that the approach that we need to be taking to make sure that women are strong enough, our peers, the people who are following in our footsteps, have what it takes to succeed in this environment? Well, I really don't think so, and here's why. If you've had to fight and scrape and claw your way to the top, you may feel like there's no room for anyone else. And if there is someone else, they're going to threaten your position wherever you are. I used to work exclusively in music, and I saw this all the time. If there was a girl who felt like she was a top dog or a woman who felt like she was a top dog, she was very protective and territorial of her space rather than partnering with other women or giving a leg up to other women or making space for other women at the table. She felt like she had to protect her throne and push anyone else out. I think that this scarcity mindset really translates into every field because we think we have to clutch every opportunity, every promotion, every job close to our hearts and not share, not collaborate, and not allow anyone else to shine. I think of it this way. It's very, very simple. If we all in digital media consider it just like a small town, maybe there are 100 women in the small town of digital media. We're all shopping at the same grocery store. We need apples for our family. There are 30 bags of apples and 100 women shopping for them. That means that 70% of those women are not going to get a bag of apples. So you have the choice of, if you know where those bags of apples are, to get yours and not tell anyone else because you don't want to make it easier for other women to get that bag of apples. What if you need a second bag? Or you know where the apples are, you point other women to the apples, and then you tap the manager on the shoulder and say, hey, we need more apples. Me and my sisters over here are looking for these bags, and you don't have enough for us. When we support each other, I think it creates a demand for jobs, opportunities, and funding for women who are working in digital media fields. So what about an example that I've lived through? Well, I have them all the time because I have made it a point to be a woman working in digital media spaces. And I currently have an agency that touches a lot of different areas of content creation, music and film production, and marketing. I work with a lot of different people, and I often tend to overlap into areas where people have niched down into one specialty. So I could be very territorial and say, well, I do everything this person does and more. I don't want to give them an opportunity. And they could treat me the same way, like, oh, she thinks she can do my job. Well, that is one approach, but it's not the one that I take. In fact, every guest that you'll see on the Girl in Media podcast is someone who I know personally, who works in a similar field to something that I touch, or who's worked with me before. One of those guests is Marta, who owns Anchor Marketing Company. She lives in Oklahoma, but she services all of America. She does amazing work. We do have some overlapping services, but the difference is that she tends to target an ideal client who I don't target. And so I can filter people to her who I don't really want to work with. And she could do the same for me. In fact, I've even worked with her for my own brand before because I trust her work so much. And she's great at what she does. That way, we're creating a collaborative environment where we can celebrate each other's wins, we can support each other's business, and we can honestly grow and get better together, rather than feeling like we have to push the other one down to continue growing. If you offer services that would benefit women working in any field of digital media, we would love for you to sponsor the show. You can contact us to learn more about sponsorship packages and how you can reach our audience of talented women in tech when you email girlinmediaofficial@gmail.com. We hope to hear from you soon. So what about in the corporate field? If you work in a large company, you may have women who are under you, women who are alongside you, and women who work above you. Now, we know that the C-suite positions are notoriously male in media roles and in digital media and in creation and creative entertainment roles. However, there are a lot of women in middle management. That could make you feel like the opportunity to move to C-suite is very, very scarce, and realistically, it is. So what do you do in those situations when you see an opportunity for promotion or an opportunity to shine, and you know it could help you move closer to your goal of whatever your dream role is? Well, you could hide it, keep it close to your chest. You don't want the competition of other people who are your peers pursuing it. And so you just pursue it on your own. You don't tell anyone else, and maybe you get it. Or you let your coworkers know, hey, there's this incredible opportunity. I think I'm going to go for it. In fact, I think if more women went for this opportunity, they might open up roles for others to do the same thing. What do you think? Should we go all in? You're again creating a demand for women to be recognized as not only capable of that role, because I firmly believe that most women are overcapable for almost any role they're even considering, but there's also a demand. Women want to be in these positions. They want to hold these roles. And if more women pursued it, then corporate would understand that. I think it's really the same thing. Again, you're going to hear this theme over and over. Women supporting each other versus tearing each other down or keeping each other in the dark is so much more powerful and effective for our growth and for us to grow in our fields and feel more welcome and feel more empowered. So what about female business owners in digital media? We saw a huge upswing of women starting businesses in 2020 and a huge upswing in funding. Besides always being able to get a business loan, the government released a lot of PPP loans for small businesses, and then there was an upswing in funding for women-owned businesses and minority women-owned businesses. From about 2019 until today, there's still a lot of opportunities. However, it can still feel scarce because at the end of the day, while anyone can get a loan because you have to pay it back, not anyone can win a grant. There are usually one or just a handful of grant opportunities available at any given time. So even though there are more, it's still not really enough or enough for everyone, which again can make you feel like, oh, I have to keep this funding opportunity close to my chest. I have to keep this investment opportunity close to my chest. I don't want anyone else to know about it because I want to get it. But I think that if we share it with our networks, we're all applying, we're all asking for it, then by popular demand, there should be more opportunities made available. This company that just tried something to see how it would go is now seeing, wow, there's a huge demand for this. This is great publicity. More people know about us now. I'm going to do it again. And that's how just supporting each other and speaking up about opportunities can grow those opportunities for women in corporate, entrepreneurs, freelancers, and people who just really love working in digital media. So this week, or whenever you're listening to this podcast, I want to encourage you to look for opportunities in your field and then share it with your network. Say, hey, we need more opportunities like this. This is an incredible opportunity. I'm applying and you should too. Something supportive, because the bottom line is that when we're linking arms and supporting each other, we're going to get stronger. We're only going to go up together. We're going to have that network and sisterhood as we grow in digital media, as we raise our voices, as we expand our influence. Everybody wins when women support each other. Let me know what you think about this episode. I'd love to hear how you're supporting each other. I'd love to hear if there's an incredible example of this that I can highlight on the podcast. You can email me at girlinmediaofficial@gmail.com. Find me on Instagram or TikTok with the same name. I'm so excited to hear from you, and I can't wait to see you right back here on the Girl in Media podcast real soon. I'll see you next time. The Girl in Media podcast is recorded at D3T Media Suites, located just about 25 minutes south from the heart of Chicago. With a full-service creative studio for rent, photographers and videographers can create corporate videos and headshots here. Musicians can record with a live band, vocalist, or all on their own with a producer. You can meet here in our office space or, of course, record your podcast in our podcast studios. If you're a creative entrepreneur, side hustler, influencer, or just have some content that you want to get done, we'd love to see you at the professional studio spaces at D3T Media Suites to create your content. You can contact us when you visit www.d3tmediasuites.com.